Hey everybody, this is Perch. So people ask me if I've seen this news that Jonathan Hickman, Declan Shalvey, if I'd seen this announcement that they're doing a digital only X-Men series for Marvel Unlimited, yes, I have seen it. So what do I think of this? So first off, I think this is certainly a limited series. This is not a any kind of big thing. It's basically been announced in a tweet saying a new comic experience is coming to Marvel Unlimited, and yeah, here it is right here in the background. They've got some sound effects, and Jonathan Hickman, Declan Shalvey presents a new comics experience. There's some music exclusively on Marvel Unlimited as they attempt to pump up the Jesus, now it's going to loop. Stop. Anyway, 75,000 views at this point. So, hey, way to go. Anyway, this is most likely a one-shot or a small series. This is not any kind of ongoing thing, and it's definitely intended to kind of pump up the subscriptions on Marvel Unlimited, something Marvel desperately wants to do, and I think probably fast-tracked a little bit with the news that Amazon is kind of consuming Comixology and will be putting some additional dollars and money into that platform. So it's one of those things. From what I gather, this series was kind of in the minds right around the time of the X-Men election. It certainly looks like it features the new X-Men team that was elected, and it's most likely going to be doing new things. Marvel has been kind of always excited about this motion comic AR functionality inside the comic where they do different things. They have backgrounds moving, or basically they make it more of a hybrid between a cartoon and a movie and a comic. And that appears to be what we're getting here. So the big question people have is, but wait a minute, is this what Jonathan Hickman meant? Because when they released the news that he was leaving the X Office after Inferno, he said that he was working on his next big Marvel thing with plans for it to debut later this year. Is this project that? I'm going to go with probably, which is crazy to kind of think about, because a digital only Marvel Universe exclusive kind of piece doesn't feel like a next big Marvel thing. But the entire way it was described, next big Marvel thing, by Hickman, made it sound, I don't want to say tongue-in-cheek, but not like, oh, he's taking over the Avengers again, or it's truly a major universe-changing piece. So I think that's most likely is what he was talking about. The funny thing is, as Hickman has moved over to Substack and is doing more there, I'm not convinced there is a X-Men-like thing Hickman is working on at Marvel. And I think even before this announcement, it was a bit of a long shot to consider if he was. If so, I think it could be quite a long time before we even see it. And again, I question whether there will be anything at all. Generally speaking, when somebody leaves at kind of his position and where he had this very highly promoted head of X type role, they don't say, well, he's going off to another company to do other projects. They will say something like, oh, they're going to be working on the next big thing, and then the next big thing sometimes doesn't happen. They use that language for Bendis before it was finally kind of revealed he was jumping ship to DC. They've used that language for Claremont for what feels like 20 years now. Hasn't been that long, but it feels like a long time. Joe Quesada said he was working on a next big Marvel thing. Turned out that big Marvel thing was occasional covers. There often isn't. Now, I'm not saying for sure there's not here, but I'm just a little skeptical if there is a big thing. I think this motion comic that is a digital-only Marvel Universe exclusive is probably the big thing. I think this is what he was referring to, especially since he said it will be revealed later this year. It's September, but all the same, there's not a lot of later this year left. And so I think that's more or less potentially it, that he's going to be doing something new. And I think somebody like Hickman, who put in the data sheets and all these other things, I think they get a little bit of buzz and mileage off of him talking about something new and unique he's doing with this digital platform that you could only do on digital. And I expect there to be some comments to that effect. In what is a more classic style event, switching gears to something else with Marvel, Dark Reign. This event features Daredevil, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and more under attack by the Kingpin, and we know a little bit more about it now. This is being written by Chip Zdarsky. Marco Cinchetto is reportedly the artist for all 6 issues, which is just, I mean, that's some crazy talk there. I don't even know what to, I mean, what kind of world is this? I can't even kind of comprehend. But this, like I said, 6 issues. It's a limited series, and then it is promising it will have lots of tie-ins. Now, I think it will be a combination of true tie-ins to ongoing series, and it will be a combination of one-shots and, I don't know, Fantastic Four, 1.dr or whatever it happens to be. I think there will be a number of those. So who are those characters crossing over? Well, it will be Captain America, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, along with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, a lot of the street-level heroes. I've heard that the Punisher may make an appearance in all this, and that's how they reintroduce him, because spinning out of this series will be a new and bigger series that is most likely Daredevil, but probably a few others as well. In it, the Kingpin basically unleashes shocking truths and dark secrets about some of Marvel's most high-profile superheroes that he's kept to himself for years. So somewhere he's got, a clip of Johnny Storm, taking a piss behind a bar and not, just peeing on the streets. And he's going to release these photos, and everybody's going to be like, disgusting, and he didn't wash his hands. And then everybody turns on the Fantastic Four. That's where we're going with this. Now, occasionally Tony Stark flies around that armor naked. That's what's happening. Anyway, Wilson Fisk is kind of his last big gasp, trying to add to his power base, and the mayor of New York City uses the powers of his office to outlaw superheroes, uses the knowledge he gained as leader of the underworld to rock the worlds of Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Cap, Spider-Man, and others. And he will use the new iteration of Thunderbolts that we sort of saw in King of Black. His new Thunderbolts, which will be enforcing the entire show, includes Crossbones, Taskmaster, who's a boy in this version, Typhoid Mary, Shocker, Whiplash, Rhino, and Kraven. Kraven, who appears to be showing up in Spider-Man and a couple other books simultaneously. Always great. And this is kind of the opening salvo. So it's all this means lots of crossovers, 6-issue series, brand new event, coming out of the end of this, and lots more that Zdarsky is planning. So this event is going to begin in December. It's got a nice little trade dress, and how it comes around, it looks pretty good. They're kind of getting a little bit of a Civil War thing, and I mean, this looks solid. It looks like something that potentially it could be kind of exciting and get some of that spirit back of Marvel's crossover events of old. So who knows? So two basic stories coming out. We got a digital first X-Men comic from Jonathan Hickman and Declan Shalvey that may or may not be Hickman's next big thing, or I definitely think you're counting down to one of the last things we'll see from Hickman at Marvel in a while. But who knows? Again, maybe I'm wrong. Hickman gets announced as the new writer for The Punisher. It's a Punisher by Jonathan Hickman. It's a mental kind of way, anyway. And a more classic traditional series in the form of Devil's Reign. So I know there's a lot of Daredevil fans on this channel. I also know there's a lot of X-Men fans on this channel. So now comes a big question. Are you buying into Hickman as a digital only? You need to basically subscribe to Marvel Universe, Marvel Unlimited. Are you willing to do that? Is that something that is going to drive? Is the name of Hickman enough to drive you there, to get you to subscribe to a series, a platform Marvel desperately wants you to subscribe to? And what about Devil's Reign? Is this something you're going to pick up? How do you feel about crossovers? Are you going to be buying just the 6 issues? Are you going to buy everything it ties into? What do you make of this? Will Captain America still be sad? Will he still be missing his shield and trying to find it? Will the Kingpin dress up like Captain America and go running around? We don't know the answer to that, but maybe you will. So let me know what you're buying, what you're interested in the comments below. Hey, like and subscribe as always, helps the channel. It's great stuff. And thanks for listening.